Hi everyone! Today I decided to do a video on what I wish I knew before getting a service dog. I took to Instagram and asked my followers to leave in the little question box what they wish they knew before they had a service dog or before they got a service dog. And I've written down some of them here, and I'm gonna go through them, and I'm gonna place like the username that put it like right here, just so you know they're getting the credit. I wrote down the ones that I relate to strongly and that I think would be helpful for other new service dog teams to know. Stop. The first one that I wrote down was difference between ESA, service dog, and a therapy dog. There it goes. This is something that should be very widely known, but some people still don't understand what the difference is and what the different laws are for these. So let's start with a service dog. So a service dog in the United States, I'm going to talk United States wise because I don't know the laws for the other countries, but in the United States, service dogs have public access rights, meaning that they are allowed anywhere that the handler is allowed. So that means if you're going to an aquarium, the dog is allowed to go to the aquarium unless there's some part of the aquarium that is unsafe for the dog. ESAs, on the other hand, do not have public access. There are very few counties in the United States that give ESAs public access. So before you pick a fight, do your research to see if ESAs even have public access in your county. The Fair Housing Act states that an ESA is allowed to live with its handler with a note from the doctor without having to pay for the pet fee. This is taken advantage a lot. An ESA also used to be able to fly with their person in an airplane without paying the pet fee. The new transportation laws now removed that, and ESAs are not allowed to fly as ESAs. They fly as a pet, meaning that you still have to pay a pet fee, and if the dog is small enough to fit in a carrier, the dog must stay in the carrier the entire flight, and in the airport unless in the potty area. Therapy dogs, on the other hand, also do not have public access rights, but they are for a larger group of people. They do not work for one individual person. These are the dogs that go into like hospitals, schools, stuff like that, to help other people. These dogs do not have public access rights, and the only reason why they're allowed into hospitals or schools is with permission from those specific places. The next one is that though helpful at times, service dogs can be very inconvenient. I feel like this is something a lot of new handlers look over. When you have a service dog, you are constantly packing for two, and you have to make sure that the dog has everything it's going to possibly need on the outing to make sure that it is a safe and controlled situation. This includes booties, jackets, liquid bandage, stuff like that, water bowl, treats. It is also inconvenient when where you are going, you know you're gonna have public access issue, or if you know that the dog is too big to fit places. So like on an airplane, it can be very inconvenient to have a big dog because you're gonna have to sit in a very uncomfortable position, but they're so helpful to have that the pros of it kind of outweighs the cons and the inconvenience. Next is talking about the public, meaning people who don't have service dogs, who's just in the shops or grocery stores or stuff like that. You get a lot of staring, pointing, making comments, standing in front of you. It is a daily occurrence, and it's something that a new handler is going to have to learn to look over and to learn how to respond to. I know for some people, talking to strangers is hard and triggering, so we have to be very aware that this is gonna happen. If you go to the grocery store, people are gonna stare, people are gonna point, people are gonna take pictures. So it's just something that you really have to prepare for and know before you get a service dog that this is going to happen every day in your life. The next one is how expensive gear is. Gear meaning vests, harness, leashes, collars, training tools, food, treats, things the dog's gonna need every day. The gear prices, you get what you pay for, meaning that a piece of expensive gear, it's gonna last you. Gear prices are something I definitely overlooked going into the community, and gear, I love gear and stuff, and I love the makers and I want to support them. So you just have to be aware of how much gear actually costs and how much work is actually put into the gear to be able to make it safe for your service dog. The next one is training is always one step forward and two steps back. You're gonna have bad days with training, and you're gonna think that you failed, and you're gonna think that your dog is gonna wash, but it's all part of the process. Training is always something that you're going to be doing. Even when a dog is fully trained, there's still stuff you're going to need to work on, and still stuff you're going to need to train up because of that 2 steps backwards. If you're working on a heel, you could have that perfect puppy focus heel, but that dog's going to grow out of it and soon going to find the distractions, and it's going to be 2 steps back, and you're going to have to reteach it. You can't get discouraged with your dog. You have to always stay positive and stay fun, so the dog also stays positive. With that, you don't want to burn out your dog by training too much, and you want to give them time to actually be a dog. This is something really hard for a lot of handlers to understand, that the dog will burn out if training is taken too seriously. Training needs to be fun, it needs to be positive, and be patient with your dog, because they're gonna learn and they're going to thrive. And if you need help with training, reach out to professional trainers, reach out to those people. Don't be afraid to, don't feel like you failed, because those trainers are there to make your life easier. The next one is the toxicity in the community. Toxicity is something that happens a lot in a community that is filled with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people, and it's something that you're gonna have to ignore. It's gonna be hard, and you're gonna want to get involved, but stay out of it. Put it behind you. If something's happening to you, reach out to people you can trust. But like toxicity in any other community, you see it happen a lot with other aspects of the dog community as well, like dog sports, service dogs, pet parents. So it's everywhere, and it's going to be hard to outrun, but you can do it. The next one is how big of a lifestyle change and flip that having a service dog takes effect on. Everything that you are used to knowing how to do is going to change as soon as you get a dog. Meaning, if you're used to running in and out of Target in 5 minutes, it's going to turn into a 20-minute trip with a service dog, just because of the time that it takes to gear up the dog, get the dog out of the car, get in, you run into the public, stuff like that. Also, how much you're going to have to learn in your life with standing up for yourself, advocating for you and your dog. That is a lifestyle change if you are not good at standing up for yourself, which a lot of us aren't. I also know that living with a dog is hard. You're sharing a space, and you're going to get annoyed, especially when the dog is with you 24/7 and the dog takes over your bedroom. So that's a lifestyle change for sure. Going along with gear prices, another thing is how much a dog and the training actually costs. Unless you're getting a dog from a nonprofit like Guide Dogs for the Blind or Service Dogs for Veterans, Guide Dogs of America, a good well-bred dog is anywhere between $1,000 and $4,000, depending on the breed, the place, the breeder, color, titles on the parents. So you have to be prepared for how much you're going to actually pay for a dog. If you're not prepared for that, then it might not be the right treatment plan for you until you can afford these costs. Training, on the other hand, if you're hiring a professional trainer, trainers can range anywhere from $50 an hour to $200 an hour, or you do a board and train that's like $3,000 for 2 weeks. So you have to be very mindful of how much money you're actually getting in and how much money you're going to be spending on the dog alone. Next one is public access issues. You're gonna have public access issues literally anywhere. You could have them at your local Target, restaurants, doctor's offices, pharmacies, stuff like that. Like I've said before, you have to learn to advocate for yourself, and that's something I wasn't expecting to do as a handler, but it's something that I've grown into being able to do for me and my dog. When it comes to public access issues, stay calm, cite your rights and laws, and if they are not listening, ask for somebody above them and don't let them win. On that note, don't make it a big deal. There's a lot of handlers that will like film their public access problems, post them on YouTube, and it'll hurt those businesses even if it's a small business. So let's aim to educate and make a positive impact for the service dog community instead of yelling and stuff like that. Just cite your laws and your rights. If you have an ADA card, you can hand them the ADA card, but this is part of advocating for yourself and your new lifestyle. The next one is what to look for in a prospect. So this is something a lot of new handlers don't understand or don't know. When you're looking for a prospect, you want to look for a breeder that is clean, responsible, has titles on their dogs, health checks, has guarantees, all of that stuff. That's just the beginning of looking for a puppy. What to look for in a prospect is a whole different thing. It depends on what you're looking for and what your lifestyle is allowing. If you're a very active person, then you need a very active breed to keep up with you. If you're a person that has a very laid-back lifestyle, that you don't really do much, stuff like that, you're gonna need a more laid-back breed that doesn't need as much exercise. When you look for a prospect, you want to look for drive, you want to look for comfortability, you want to look for how they play with their siblings, what they do when you hold them, if they play with toys, if they like treats, problem solving, stuff like that. And normally that is easier to tell around 8 weeks old. And last but not least is how much fun off-duty is with your dog. Even though it can be very inconvenient, even though there's so much money, so much time, so much patience going into your dog, your life, and what's gonna help you in your life, off-duty with your dog is always so much fun. Playing and being able to meet other handlers and make friends with them, and your dogs make friends, and being able to share that bond with another living being. And that's probably the best part, is being able to have that by your side at all times. And then if you're off duty, being able to see your dog really enjoy their life and their working life. My foot's asleep. So that concludes my video on this. I had probably 50 answers, and I just chose about 11 of them to actually elaborate on. There's so much more to know before getting a service dog, and I know that there are other videos here on YouTube that can also help with that. On that note, I hope that some of this information helped somebody in the community, or made somebody smile, or pointed them in the right direction for their future lifestyle, their future dog, or their current dog and lifestyle. That concludes this video. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Siriusly.working. And then I still have a giveaway going on my page. We are super close, and we have some amazing vendors, and I'm super happy to get this close to 3,000 and then announce the winner. With that, hope everyone has a good day. Stay safe, wash your hands, wear your masks, and yeah, see you guys later.